Hi, everyone, and welcome. This is Alex here of Advice by Alex. I want to thank you very much for stopping by and giving me a listen to. And if you like this channel, I ask that you hit the subscribe button and the like button with the little bell for all the notifications of when I go live. And of course, whenever I upload a new video as well. I want to thank you very much for joining me for today. Just a couple of little announcements here before we get started with the video for today. If you would like to get a personalized angel reading with me, you can visit me on my Etsy shop at Angel Soul Blessings 777, and then you will be able to click on whatever video or the whatever listing that you would like to get. And if you would like to check out the podcast special that is listed in the description box or in the Etsy shop as well. And that is where it would be a total cost of $33.33. And how to have your soul grow and everything like that. And let me just take a look at the exact title of that. Your Soul's Garden Intuitive Angel Messages for May 2026. So, yes, so that is the messages that we have for going for the podcast special for the month of May. And if you too would like to submit your question for the podcast, why not? It is free. I will leave that information in the description box below as well. So hopefully you all are doing absolutely fantastic and that you all are having an absolutely fantastic day thus far, and everything of that nature. So today we are going to be starting off a new video series here, and the series is titled "Clearing the Space for New Love." So one that I wouldn't have thought to talk about for a very long time on this channel. But I am actually ready to talk about new love. So that is interesting. First off, and everything like that. So, but it is where we'll be talking about releasing the old guard and also cutting the cords from the past, and everything of that nature. So, yeah, so that is basically what we'll be doing for today. So we'll have a little bit of a discussion in regard to where I want this series to go and how I want it to help other people and everything like that. And each video that I release will be a weekly video. And along with it, there will be a Reiki session as well in regard to that specific topic that we are working on, in regard to allowing just the allowing things to grow and everything like that. So I am very excited in regard to this. And especially now that we have summertime coming up and everything like that, and people will be going out and about more, I feel like that is leading to more opportunities for people to meet a new soulmate and everything like that, or a twin flame, and everything like that. So, um, now let's just first start off with the distinction between a twin flame and a soulmate. So, a twin flame is just someone that you share that mirror connection with. They are a part of you. They are where your soul is at, where your soul is born, but it decides to split in two. So that is a twin flame. And a lot of people get confused on whether their person is a twin flame. Either you know, or you don't, or if you feel like you know, but you're uncertain, it's probably just a soulmate that you are with, and everything like that. But the bond of a twin flame is different than where bond between the twin flames are different compared to soulmates. It's a very deep, intense connection, one that's kind of unexplainable, and everything like that, and where there are different parts to that connection. It's not all lovey-dovey. It's a lot of soul growth, a lot of attunement to your higher self, a lot of deep trauma healing as well. At first, it can be a little bit toxic, and everything like that, and where it is just a lot of unknowns and everything of that nature. So, and it's all about trusting in the process, becoming more of who you are, becoming more of your authentic self. Um, so it's like more falling in love with you. So there are a lot of different layers to the twin flame. And that's why I tell people you don't want a twin flame, because it's a lot of people um, put it as a high regard, like a fantasy of like that, but it's really like a lot of work in between. So, um, but yeah, so will I say that I have met a twin flame? Yes. Am I at a point in the journey where I have made a decision that I would like to be with a soulmate? Yes. And I have read that twin flame chasers are able to choose if they want to be with a highly divine soulmate that matches. You just learn in different areas and everything like that. So, and that kind of happened recently with myself. For those of you that don't know, I talked a little bit about it in the past, but after the separation with the twin, I was very broken for a long time. And then I've after my grandma's passing, I feel like I was even in a more broken space, which is where I took a break from doing readings for a while, because of the fact that I needed to rediscover myself and come out of the grief process, which I still have a counselor and everything like that, which is absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend counseling for anybody that is going through any sort of mental health issue or grief as well. And it is basically where, in that journey, is where I met someone so shortly after my grandma's passing, around my birthday, which is January 13th, for those of you that do not know. And I am a Capricorn, yes, very much a Capricorn, true and true. I have a sun rising, and then I also have a my goodness, I have a it's a water sign that's a moon sign, a Pisces moon sign, and then a Cancer as well thrown in the mix. So a lot of earth and water. So that's basically what it is, and everything like that. So, but yeah, so that is where that is at, and everything like that. So for me, I wasn't looking for love at the time, and everything like that. And I had initially found this person online, but then I forgot about it. Forgot about them for a while, and it was just where I had a lot going on, and I was actually kind of scared to call them, to be honest with you, because like I sensed something with them, and I couldn't put it at the time of what it was. I was like, why do I sense something about you? Because of all the people that I saw, but what I was looking at was just like, I'm not drawn to you, but I am drawn to this very specific person. And then, so yeah, I met them on my birthday, and it kind of turned into a situationship after all that and everything like that. And it just kind of um, was interesting because at first the connection was purely physical, and I had no issues whatsoever. Um, but then the more that we met, each session that we had with each other, it kind of escalated into becoming more and more personal with each other and everything like that, and where it kind of led to um, things developing and everything like that. Um, so, but yeah, so there was like a little bit more frequent check-ins even outside of our session with each other and stuff like that. And it's just kind of like where each time I saw him, I slowly was letting my guard down, and he was as well. And I was getting to know more of the personal side of him and stuff like that. So that was there. Wasn't expecting that. And yeah. And then lo and behold, um, one day in April, I saw him 2 days in a row, and then it kind of led to an almost kiss moment and everything like that because the energy shifted so suddenly. I was like, we both felt it, and we were both like, holy shit, what was that? Because we both set the boundaries of no like kissing or anything like that. Um, but it would have been very easy to do with him. My God, yes. Um, I was like, I'm not crossing that boundary. If you want to cross the boundary, you can, but we'll have to have a discussion after that. And everything like that. Um, but yeah, and then just this past week alone, it's just been like so many downloads of like things that I needed to process and to fully understand because what I didn't realize at the time was that I knew my feelings were developing for him, but I didn't realize how deep the feelings were until I had woke up this one morning last week. I think it was a Thursday that I was like, oh shit, kind of like a moment and everything like that. So um, it was kind of like, I want more with you and things like that. So now just kind of like following his lead and things like that. And the fact that we are both Capricorns and his birthday is January 14th. What are the odds of that happening? I'm like, damn. I'm like, what? How is this like happening and stuff like that? So yeah, it is kind of crazy with how that happened. Yes, Teddy Bear, you agree? So but yeah, so and then I woke up and then I just had that week I just had to like purge like a lot of things from like the twin flame dynamic into getting into a space to be ready for this soulmate that has a deeper connection. Obviously, it's a deep connection. Um, and it wouldn't be like he is my type 100%, but it wouldn't be where I would look for it. You know, if like I randomly saw him in public, I wouldn't have had the courage to approach him and stuff like that. Because I'd be like, um, yeah, I'm nervous to do that and everything like that. Um, just because his energy emits like that um, connection that's kind of like I feel within our soul, and I know he does too. Even if we don't say it right now, and I feel like he does. So, yeah. So that is kind of like my background of where I can understand like the clearing the space for the new love to come in, because you have to go through the baggage. You have to be able to work through the any trauma or things in order for it to get your heart ready. And once I fully accepted that I had feelings for him, I kind of like stepped into this whole new version of myself, and I'm like, yeah, I'm ready for love. And it's a scary thought, yes, but it's exciting at the same time, because I wouldn't have thought I would have experienced that again. Been a hot minute, and everything like that. So, right, Teddy Bear? Although you weren't around for the first time, so you kind of know, right, Teddy? Yeah. And that is Teddy Bear, by the way. But he's just looking so fantastically cute, and everything like that. But yeah, so that's just kind of like where that was and stuff like that. And I feel like we have to clear like kind of the baggage from things, because we both, um, each person in the relationship does carry like baggage from the past, so they have to work through it. And of course, it's kind of been shaping where they have been helping along that process. During the time of knowing them, I have not only applied for school but gotten accepted into grad school, and then moving toward my journey where he encourages that and just like there, and everything like that. So yeah, and I think it's like where I built that, because there is that emotional safety, um, emotional vulnerability, and emotional intimacy and trust, that it has developed there. And I think that is where it kind of like fits, and you kind of have to be in that space where you are able to find that and connect with a person on that level, and everything like that. So whenever he's ready to have that conversation for more, I'm open to more. And when he brings it up, I just am following his lead. And as a Capricorn, I can understand the thought process that he's going through. So I definitely understand that 100%. So I just kind of wanted to like kind of break it up with a little lesson, be a little vulnerable. Um, it's scary being a little vulnerable on here, but I not like diving into names or of the person or anything like that to protect their privacy and my privacy during this time. But like kind of the background just to give like, and I'm not sharing like the entire situation that has happened and things like that, just kind of like the basics to understand how to know like when you're ready for new love. And I think when you are ready for new love, you kind of just know. Like you have that heart opening moment, which I feel like this has been allowing myself to open my heart again, which is a very nice feeling. It's again scary because it's been a long time since I've felt it. Um, but yeah, I just feel like it's just time. And sometimes when we are not looking for something, is where things kind of happen, and everything like that. So, yeah. So, but anyhow, that's kind of like the lesson and everything like that. So it's just kind of like a brief overview of like kind of like clearing the past and knowing what you need to go through and not being afraid of facing the challenges and everything like that. But At this time, I ask that you have your feet firmly planted on the ground, have your heart wide open to be able to receive the angel messages that you're about to receive, and then light a candle to surround yourself in God's white light. And during that moment of silence, I ask that you um, invite your spiritual team in to give you the messages that you need to hear for your situation. So we'll do a reading in regard to where it is that we are and how we should go about clearing the space for new love, or where we are at in that process. Some of you may not be as deep into it yet, or you're just starting that process, or where I described like a sense of purging from the past, and everything like that, is where I think that is kind of like preparing you, because I feel like for me in my situation, I do feel like things are going to be starting to form, like something about the summer time frame. I don't know. I'm just gonna go with it, and see where things lead. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting for sure. I don't know why I had to go through it that fast, but there was a reason for it. It'll just surprise me like it always surprises me, and the fact that I've had an added layer of emotional maturity with this entire situation. It's like, oh, I grew up for my 20s and things like that. I'm like, ooh, that was like a change of pace and things like that, because I don't think when I met my ex that I had, I don't think I was ready for that. Like, yes, I was, and yet no, I wasn't, because I was very much not knowing what love was at that time. I had no idea what it meant, and everything like that. So now in my close to 40s, I do know what it means. So yeah. So, but let me go ahead and get the card. So we'll use the Psychic Tarot for the heart, and everything like that. And everything of that nature. So, yeah, so we will go ahead and draw some cards, and everything like that. And then we'll go ahead with a moment of silence, and I'm going to put the mic down while I shuffle. Alrighty, so what does everybody need to know at this time in regard to where is everybody at in regard to clearing the space for new love? Clearing the space for new love. Where is everybody at in the process? Okay, interesting. Okay, so at this time we'll go ahead and just kind of move our bodies, kind of getting into the motion of where we are at, energetically, and kind of getting into that mindset of the reading. And we'll go ahead and we will take a deep breath in and hold it, and then breathe out. So at a count of 3, breathe in. And breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Hold it. Breathe out. 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. Hold it. Breathe out. 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right. So at this time, we'll go ahead and go ahead with a moment of silence. And of course, at this time, that is my symbol, that is my sign to spirit that I'm ready to work. And we'll go ahead with a moment of silence while I connect energetically in regard to what everybody needs to know for clearing the space for new love. Alrighty, so I feel like when I am tuning into the energies in regard to basically clearing like the space, I feel like a lot of us are very hesitant. I feel like hesitation, I feel resistance to this idea of clearing the space for new love. And I feel that because I feel like we're very much in our headspace in regard to what if we are ready, what if we are getting hurt again. And I feel like one of the things that is being brought up is rejection. And where it is that basis of fear that we will never find love again. Um, or we will find love, but then they'll be gone again. And I feel like doing the work will help it. Excuse me. Will attract the partner that you are ready for and things like that. And also where I could have swore I saw like teddy bear move over there, but teddy bear has been right there. So I thought I saw something move out of the corner of my eye. I saw like I like feet moving in the corner of my eye, but I'm the only one here besides teddy bear. So I don't know. That was kind of interesting. So but yeah, so that is now it's just like the energy is focused on that instead of what we are supposed to be focusing on. Like it is interesting. Okay. But anyhow, um, I was feeling a lot of different things in regard to that, and I feel like also there was a blockage in our own truth. So, kind of speaking our own truth and not being afraid to speak with authenticity. Getting real with ourselves is very much important because it releases stagnation within our energy, and then it also helps with the ability to find new love and everything like that, and attract love into your life. Um, and love can come in all forms, not just where it is a person or not, you know? Mm. So, but yeah, so that is kind of like where that is at. So that's kind of like what I was feeling right away when I was tuning into the energies. And then we also here had is simply love. So I feel like this is all about getting into the mindset of self care, allowing that self love into um, our life. And now this means not doing it for another person, but doing it for you and not attaching it to an outcome. So that lesson was learned the hard way, believe it or not, for myself. But yeah, so do it for you and not for anybody else. You gotta learn to love the real you, and this will help with the inner child healing as well, and allowing things to come forward. And Archangel Raphael is very much around, helping us to remind ourselves to honor who we are, honor our authentic selves, and everything like that. So that is kind of coming into play and everything like that. And the next card here is that we have is clarity of belief. So this is once we start doing the work, we'll have the aha moments that I was talking about, or the oh shit moments that I like to talk about. But the aha moments will lead up to an oh shit moment with somebody, and things of that nature. So it kind of goes hand in hand, and this is where we'll start to get downloads. And once we get those downloads, there's no coming back from getting the downloads, and everything of that nature. So, but yeah, so that is simply love. And then we also go here into clarity of belief. And then next we have is refusing to see, which I feel like this is where that resistance is coming from, and we're kind of blocking the truth, and everything like that. We're kind of blocking energetically that from the universe where we're not in that space for love, but we have to go through that work in order to see things. And I know working on our past is scary, and I get that, but it's the only way to attract the new love into our life. So that is very much where that is at, and everything of that nature. So that is kind of like where that is at. So, and then this is dealing a lot with the third eye, and everything like that, because it gets the wisdom from the divine coming down through our crown chakra into our third eye. So, we also have is take the lead. We got to take the action steps in order to be able to put in the effort and the work, in order to attract new love. And this is also the masculine and the feminine energies coming together and kind of blending effortlessly. So yes, my energy is more the feminine energy, and my person that I'm wanting to be with is more the masculine energy, but they do have feminine energy as well to them, but they're more the masculine, as well. So that it makes sense. And then we have this control. So stop trying to force things when they come up, is what I'm hearing. Allowing things to go with the flow. Working on our solar plexus is what I'm hearing, in regard to that. So, when our insecurities are coming up, face them and embrace them, and then let them go. So that is kind of like where that is at, in regard to that as well. So, right, teddy bear? But you're so passed out right now that you're not even paying attention to what I am saying. But we also have a success and growth. So, the more that we nurture ourselves and the more that we love ourselves, the partnership will come in, and everything like that. And usually when we're least expecting it. And it's kind of like where you'll have that light bulb moment of the aha moment, you know? So that is very much there, and everything like that. So that is very much there as well. And then of course we do have the MasterCard, learning who we are as the new version of ourselves and who we want to be, understanding who we are and as a person. So learning to accept ourselves for who we are. That's a big one. Woo. That is very much a big one, and everything like that. So that is very much there, and everything of that nature. So next is we'll use the Archangel Power Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue. All right. So, ooh. Okay. Ooh. Okay. So let us go ahead. What does everybody need to know for clearing the space for new love? Okie dokie pokey. Here we go. So, we have here is the 3 of Raphael, reason to celebrate, a community of friends, happy announcements regarding relationships or children. So, again, this is when we are building our community, we are building like-minded people, we're building that connections with other people, and the more that we are allowing people into our life, we will find the connections that we need, and then also the person that you are meant to be with will be showing up and everything like that. So I definitely feel like it'll come out of the woodwork and everything like that. So that is exciting. So next here is that we have a 0, leap of faith, Archangel Metatron, believe in yourself, listen to your heart, do what gives you joy, allowing yourself to be happy, but also having the courage to follow this path and not stray from it. So, and kind of walking into it like without expectations and be like, I'm ready to explore, I'm ready to see what is out there, and I'm ready to allow whatever it is that comes my way. Of course, with what you are desiring and things like that, for sure. So, we also have here is the Magician, Archangel Raziel. Raziel. I can never pronounce it correctly. Sorry, Archangel Raziel. And you can manifest the life you want. He was just kind of like in my head of like, I just heard him say, it's okay, I understand. So I'm like, okay, thank you. You can manifest the life that you want. What you need will magically appear. Successful beginnings. So, all about manifestation. Believing in yourself, believing in the divine, believing in the connection that will come forward, and everything of that nature. So, but yeah, so King of Gabriel, generous, inspirational, dramatic, driven. Keep your eyes on the big picture, leave the details to others, experience that leads to success. A genuine concern for others. So, kind of like this is what it is talking about is letting whatever details it is, let it go. Allowing, it's just kind of like, I feel like this card is just allowing things to unfold naturally, not trying to force things into fruition, but allowing things to happen when it is meant to happen, and everything like that. So that is very much there, and everything of that nature. So we also here have is the 9 of Michael. Your worry is unnecessary. Focus your thoughts on the outcome you desire. Release feelings of regret, guilt, or worry to the angels. So again, this is releasing the old baggage that is no longer serving us, and letting it go and cutting the cords to the past. So that is very much there. And then Archangel Michael can definitely help clear the cords as well. And Archangel Raphael heal that cord. All right. So what we have here is the Knight of Raphael. Romantic, dramatic, poetic, and introspective, committed romantic relationships, being swept off your feet. situations or topics that make your heart flutter. So, falling in love with love is basically the theme of this card, and falling in love with the love and being having that pure joy, and things of that nature. So, that is very much where that is at, and everything of that nature. So, that is absolutely positively fantastic. Okay, so we have here is the 10 of Ariel. There is so very much to be grateful for: financial success and the promise of retirement, a rich and rewarding family life. So, again, things are looking up. Things are looking at the bigger picture of where we are wanting to be, and everything like that. So, let us go ahead with the romance deck. Holy bully, we're already in a long... This video is going to be long, I so apologize. So this is the Romance Angels deck by Dorian Virtue. Okie dokie. Okay, what does everybody need to know in opening the space for new love? Opening the space for new love. Chemistry. Okay. So, this is a very big key factor. So we have here is chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. So between you and your partner, I do feel like there is going to be that strong magnetic attraction and everything of that nature. So I definitely feel like this is going to be opening that heart up, opening and allowing things to unfold the way that it is. So I definitely do feel like this will be a lot of chemistry between you and your person that will come in. And then we also have is honeymoon, enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. Ooh, wow. So I feel like this is just like spending time. I feel like this is that getting to know you phase and things like that. This is where things take off, but remember, it takes work when you're in a relationship, because you gotta once that initial phase is there and it goes into the next phase, you gotta put in the effort so that way you can withstand the challenges and everything of that nature. So the infatuation stage, that's what it is. So the beginning is always the infatuation stage. So I feel like that's what we were talking about with that one. So finances and career, financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. So this may very well be the case where you're both focused on career, but kind of going with the flow and building the connection. But it's going to go slowly because you both want to focus on your own goals. Very important not to lose yourself in a relationship as well. Just FYI. Been there, done that, and don't want to do that again. So we also have is engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. So more communication will occur during the connection, where it'll go into deeper form. And I definitely do feel like that will be where that is at. So I feel like there will be discussions that will happen. And things like that. I feel like you will not be afraid of going deeper into deeper connection, deeper conversations with this person. So yeah, I definitely feel like this will be very interesting. So we also have is flirt. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. So having that playfulness, allowing the playfulness to happen, things will kind of build, and then the more playful that you are, allowing things to unfold naturally, it's just kind of like allowing that banter with each other, allowing things to grow. And then overall, we have is stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring your romance. Ooh la la. So, not think negatively, but stay positive. Having an attitude of gratitude will be important and make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. So, what we've been talking about this entire time, continue working on you. And continue working on the insecurities that will eventually pop up and everything like that. So, I'm gonna do the shadow work cards, this lesson, and then this ultra because this is very, very long. I wasn't intending for it to be this long, but it just kind of happened. So the shadow work deck. Okay. What does everybody need to know at this time? What does everybody need to know? Ooh, okay. Okay. Okay, so unprocessed grief, loss, sorrow, emotional stagnation. So let the grief from the past, let it out and let it out and everything like that. So allowing not to clear the air and allowing things to transpire for you both. And things like that. So, and this will help with the connection as well, the more that we do that work. We also have is hold your inner child, love, safety, reparenting. So, nurture the inner child with self-care and self-love. Know that it is safe to express your inner child with your partner. And your shadow holds power, integration, death, alchemy. So again, so this is our shadow self, and this is where those negative things can come up during the shadow self, and this is us transforming from the shadow self into this butterfly transformation. So that is absolutely fantastic. And everything like that. So we'll go ahead here with the Soul Lessons by James Van Praagh. What does everybody need to know at this time? What does everybody need to know at this time? Okay, so the first one here is patience. I accept that everything happens in a divine order. So having trust and patience within the connection, allowing things to develop, going with the flow. And I know that can be very difficult for us because we have issues with patience for a lot of people out there, but it's important to just go with the flow and trust. And I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all, for the P word. But it is the patience. Next is that we have is friendship. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. So allowing the foundation to build as friendship and then lead to the relationship. So that is also crucial. And then we also have this empathy. I am open to seeing both sides of the situation. So having compassion for your partner and your POI, and where is understanding where they are coming from, as they also have been through a lot as well before you guys met, and everything of that nature. So, yeah. So, but that is there. But we also here have is the Soul Truth deck. Let me go ahead and draw a card from that. Boop-a-doo, boop-a-doo-doo-doo. Wow, okay. So we have is, am I apologizing for my truth? And that is what the card looks like. I am apologizing for my truth. And what part of you is apologizing for your truth and why? Today's sole action today, be proud of your truth. Catch yourself when you want to apologize or withhold parts of it. You never know whose life you'll change when you're brave enough to speak it. Be the lighthouse that shines on the courage that lives in all of us. This will give others permission to speak their own truth. There is room for all of us. Today's mantra, courage is contagious. Wow. So, very beautiful. All right, everybody, that brings us to the end of the reading section. And that leads us to the journal prompt that I want everybody to take part in. This will help with the start of bringing in that awareness of clearing the space for a new love. And the journal prompt is, what part of my past identity was I clinging to in my last relationship? What can I replace it with that honors my true self? Wow, very powerful. Again, what part of my past identity was I clinging to in my last relationship? And what can I replace it with that honors my true self? Wow. So, with that being said, that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed the series of as much as I have been enjoying the series, even though this is the very first video in the series. And where it is all about learning to recognize when we are ready for love and everything like that. But I hope you guys enjoy it. If you like this channel, I gotta say hit the subscribe part of the subscribe button, the like button with the little bell for all the notifications of when I go live, and of course whenever I release a new video. And until next time, everybody, if you'd like to get a personalized angel reading with me, you can do so in my Etsy shop at Angel Soul Blessings 777. And until next time, everybody, I'm sending you so much love, angel blessings, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye, everybody.